Hey family, how are you doing today? I hope you are doing great. I'm doing pretty good. Starting to get a little chilly out there, but the it's been really strange lately. It's been like hot, really hot for winter, and now it's gonna be like a cold front coming through. It's probably why so many people are getting sick, right? Anyway, just want to welcome you to my channel. For all you new subscribers, I want to say thank you. I'm so grateful for you. And for those who have not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Come on. What are you waiting for? Seriously, but thank you. I really do appreciate you. I want to remind you, though, that the deadline for the first giveaway entry will be on the 26th. This is on the 26th, so if you haven't entered yet, go ahead. You still have some time. You still have about a week. Anyway, okay, today I want to have a little chat with you. Not really a teaching, just things that have been on my mind lately. I have different discussions throughout the week with different people. And we were recently talking about texting. Texting versus calling. And it turns out, it seems like people prefer to text each other these days instead of actually talking to each other. And she was telling me that if a guy texts her, just texts her all the time and never calls, that she don't want to have anything to do with him, that she's done, she doesn't want to go any further, especially when they first meet. And I was like, okay, she has a point. I can so understand that. And so and I had my own issue with that too. So it's like, why do people prefer texting over calling these days? I mean, some people still call, but I noticed that it seems like whenever you're meeting someone new, they prefer to text. I mean, to me, it's like talking and texting it's not the same. It's like I don't really consider texting real communication. It's not communication, honestly. It's like actually talking to someone, having a conversation seems to be a lost art these days. It's like people just want to text. And so I just want to know, you let me know in the comments how you feel about this texting versus calling. Because I think when it comes to texting, you can easily get like some misunderstandings, miscommunication, because it's hard to really express yourself when you're texting. Instead of like when you're calling someone, it's like you're supposed to be conversating. It's like you actually want to hear the person laugh instead of reading that they're laughing. I mean, it's like it seems to be more of a connection when you're actually talking with someone. So yeah, especially when you're trying to get to know them. That's what she was talking about. It's like she meets a guy and she's trying to get to know him, and he's only texting, and he prefers to text. It's like I don't understand that at all, because I had that situation. It happens. It happened to me recently. Well, not recently, like a few years ago. It's like I met this guy. He was gorgeous. He was like total package, the ideal guy. He was tall, dark, handsome. Yeah, he looked nice. But anyway, and so he asked me for my number. I gave it to him. I was like, oh, he's gonna call me. I was like, well, maybe he will. And of course, he texts. It was all text. I'm like, okay. So he's one of those. And it was always texting. I was like, okay. And I really didn't consider it a big deal. I was like, okay. I was hoping to actually have a real conversation. Of course, I could have called him and just tried to talk to him. Our schedules were so different, like really, really different. So I just let him just go ahead and just lay it out. And he was always texting. And then it got to where I wasn't really responding as much, because it was like other things that was going on. And I remember once I did text him, and he was like, "Who is this?" I was hurt. I was so hurt because he was like my ideal. I had already pictured us together, pictured taking him to the family reunion, see myself right beside him in that Escalade. but um but yeah, and someone made a comment, and this is not gonna be about male bashing. At least I hope not. But it was like a lot of times when guys send out this text, "Hey beautiful, hey babe, good morning babe." It's like a lot of times they're not just talking to you, they're talking to other females too. And so it's like, and I kind of felt that at one time about him. And so like one night he texted me and he was like, "Hey babe, send me a pic." So I was like, I wonder how many people he's actually sending the same text out to. And maybe he actually wants a picture so he can figure out which one it is whenever we text him. Since before when I texted him, he didn't want to know who I was. And so I sent him a pic, and it's like, okay, like why is he always texting? And he never calls me by my name. I think it was a song by Destiny Child, Say My Name. Or someone says babe a lot or boo or whatever. I'm like, do you even really know who you're talking to? Do you remember what my name is? But anyway, different topic. But yeah, texting versus calling someone and talking to them. Which do you prefer? I mean, do you think it just the trend? That's a trend that people prefer to text, so you just go along with it. I mean, like, do you actually like talking to people on the phone? I mean, is that just too old-fashioned, especially when you're trying to get to know them? So I'm just curious about that. But yeah, she was like, she meets a guy, he starts texting. That's how he wants to do. She has no interest in him whatsoever. And I can understand that. It's like, how can you really get to know someone through texting? You're not going to be able to have like full conversation with them. I mean, eventually you should call and talk to each other, right? I mean, that's what I was thinking. I want to know how you feel about it. What do you guys think? Does it really matter whether you're texting someone or you're calling someone? We prefer a little of both. But that was one of the things that's been on my mind, like texting versus calling. I personally think, like, if it's someone that you do not know and you're trying to get to know them, you should at least want to talk to them. You're like, you can learn a lot. I mean, just even listen to the sound of the person's voice. I mean, instead of reading what they're saying. But that's just me. That's just how I feel about it, But yeah, I mean, that guy though, he was so gorgeous though. But yeah, I really do think that he was talking to a lot of different people. I don't think I was the only one. And I was really hurt too, because like I said, I had just already imagined. But and that's another thing. That's another thing that someone mentioned recently. I don't know. I think it was last week. And I think it's probably, I don't know if it's the brunch that I went to or something that I heard someone say. Someone was talking about preferences. Like we had different preferences, and they said a lot of time when you have a preference, that's because there's some issues that you haven't worked out yet. And people do sometimes have like certain preferences. Like they have like prefer someone that's tall, someone that might have blonde hairs, somebody that might have dark hair. People have their preferences, and it's like, why? Where does that preference come from? And I can understand why they say you have preferences. There are certain preferences. It's because there are certain issues that you just haven't dealt with yet. And I can understand that. I mean, I really get that. Like for instance, this guy that, like I said, he was what I thought was the ideal. He fit what I was like. If I had to describe the perfect guy. He was like the ideal. And what made him the ideal for me was he would look good on my arms. I was like, yeah, if I show up with this guy, my family's gonna be like, oh, look at what she got. And that's the truth. That was exactly what I was thinking. Because when I showed his picture to one of my cousins, she was like, ooh. She was like, mm-hmm. I was like, yeah. And it's so, to me, he was the idea because it was about what people would say. I would get some approval. And I think that's just something that people do sometimes. It's like for the approval of others. And that's what I was like. That's why to me he was the ideal. Because of the way that he looked. Because he was as tall, dark, and handsome. He was built. And I was like, yeah. Imagine me showing up with this guy by my side. He had a very nice vehicle, so that's why I think I probably really wanted to talk to him, get to know him. Yeah, shallow, I know. And so it's like, to me, he was the ideal. He wasn't exactly the right person, but I wasn't thinking about that. He was the ideal. It was just some issues that I need to deal with. And so we do that. Let's think about some of the preference you have. It's like, okay, this guy, he looks amazing. Sometimes we just go by this package of, wow, that person is, yeah. And he was really that, yeah, on the outside. So our preferences, the things that we prefer, is it because there are like some issues that we just haven't really dealt with? Probably there is. I mean, you like what you like, but you have to ask yourself sometimes, why do I really like this? What is the reason behind this? What is the real reason behind this? Because when I was living in Phoenix, there was this guy, I think he was Italian, he was proud to be Italian, and he had his preference. And then I asked him why he has, why? And he was like, yeah, I don't like white women. I only like black women because black women are strong and and I like the way that the colors look together. I'm like, dude. And he was like, yeah, and white girls are so shallow. I'm like, you have a preference for the wrong reason. And so you just have to question yourself, like, why do you prefer what you prefer? You cannot say you prefer certain people because you have a bad experience with someone else. That's the wrong reason. You're going to miss out meeting some really great people if that's your reason for it. I mean, seriously. A lot of us have like, I prefer this, I prefer someone look like this, You really do miss out because when someone shows up who is not like what you're looking for, they're going to be like pretty awesome, pretty great, and you're just going to toss them to the side, not going to give them a chance because they don't look like what you prefer. And that's not good. That's not good at all. It's like we shouldn't focus so much on that, but we do. But yeah, preference. But you know what? I think, like you guys know, like I watch Catfish. I love that show. It is so good. I have had my own catfish experience. I'm not going to get into that right now, I guess. I have had people who try to catfish me a number of times and a couple of scammers. But that catfish, we have this show where people are not who they pretend to be. And sometimes these people, they are ashamed of their looks. So, they might use someone else's picture. But what really gets me about this show is like, you've been with this person, talking to this person, whatever, for all these years, and you hadn't met yet, and you don't think that's suspect? And even with this situation, you have those people a lot of times who they don't really talk to each other. They're doing the texting or the messaging or whatever. so they don't really hear the other person's voice. They see the other person's face. See, I don't get that. Like, how can you say, oh, you're so in love with this person that you're just going back and forth messaging or whatever, and you haven't really had like actually meet them in person and hang out with them and see what they're really like. But yeah, I mean, it's just, and it's because people, they have their insecurities, pretending to be someone that they're not because they think that you're not going to like them if you see who they really are, what they really look like. Because like I said, people have their preferences. And I did have that happen with me, with a guy was doing that to me, he pretended like he looked a certain way. He just kept making excuses. So when I did finally see him, and I'm not proud of my reaction when we finally met up. I'm not proud at all. I was in a bad place at that time. I had a lot of stuff going on, I had a bad breakup. And also, don't try to get into another relationship until you're completely healed. Very important. And my mother just died, so I was like very emotional. I was just going through a lot of stuff. And so he was just the final straw. And I was very mean to him, I admit that. I was very, very mean and very unkind to him. But, I was in a bad spot. I really, really was. I really was. I'm actually ashamed of how I behaved, but I've learned, I've grown from that. But anyway, yeah, these are just, this is just me, like, just a little chit chat. Just want to like talk to you about different things, about texting someone versus calling. What do you prefer? Your preferences, like, you have a preference, like, what is the real reason why you have your preference? Why do you like what you like? Is it just some issue that you haven't dealt with yet? And also, yeah, I just want to just come on for a little while, just for a little bit, and just like, just have this little talk and just let you know what's been on my mind. Just know what's going on. Oh, I want to ask you, have you guys done 23andMe? 23andMe is the DNA test. I decided to do that. I just decided to find out, what I am made up of. And it was, well, I wasn't really surprised. Like, I did it, and one of my brothers did it. We both did. Of course, we have the same parents, so it pretty much came out the same. But with 23andMe, it's really, really cool because I was actually able to connect with someone that it says that we're related some kind of way. It says that we're cousins, because I don't know if we really are, but she's a really nice person, and I connected with her on Facebook, and we're really close. I mean, I really, really adore her. I'm so glad I did that. If we're not even really related, it doesn't matter. I just adore her. I think she is amazing. But yeah, I did 23andMe, and I'm going to share some of my results with you. Let's see. That's really, really neat. It's really fun to do, just to see, what it says about you. Apparently, I'm 27.5% Nigerian. Yeah. What else? Let's see. Let's go in here. Ancestry. It is really neat. I had always wanted to do this, and I had just put off, like, you know what? I'm going to try this and see what it says. So, oh. And there's like, 23andMe is not the only one. They have some others out there. Ancestry.com, something like that. But yes, Sub-Saharan African 85.9. West African 70.5. Um, European is 11.6. I have a little Irish, y'all. 4.3 Irish. Little German. Little Native American. Filipino. Wow. Chinese and Southeast Asian is 0.2%. This is so amazing. But yeah, if you guys have done 23andMe, I'll be interested to know, what does it say about you? And you can share that in the comments if you want to. But yeah, I just want to stop by for a few minutes and just have a little talk, let you know what's been on my mind lately. And do not forget to subscribe if you haven't. Like, comment, and share if you want to. I appreciate it. And do not forget the deadline is almost up. You have one more week, and I appreciate you. I'm thinking of you, and I love you all so very much. And I will talk to you soon. Goodbye. Blessings.